Okay guys, we're here with a 120 Series Toyota Prado. So we're just going to run through the installation of a Redarc under bonnet dual battery system. So our BCDC is going to go in this area. We remove this grille, mount the BCDC in the front, good airflow in that location. This is the main battery, so we're going to connect part of the loom to the main battery and part of the loom to the auxiliary battery. So let's get stuck into it and we'll show you how to get into your 120 Series Prado. So we have our kit here. Let's just go through what's in the box. So when you first open the box, you'll see a packet of goodies. So you've got instructions for the Redarc, cable ties to assist with the install, a bolt to mount one of the bracket locations, and some stickers in there. So we'll just set that aside for now. Then as we reach further into the box, we're going to see our wiring loom. So we'll pull that out first. So there's a little bit involved in this wiring loom. One goes to our main battery. They're all labelled, so we've got solar panel input on the Anderson plug. This harness here says main battery, so it's our main battery harness. And the second harness, third harness I should say, says auxiliary battery on there. So that's going to go to our auxiliary battery location. And then if we pull the BCDC unit out, we can see it's fitted to a vehicle specific bracket. Just put this harness down and we'll just show you where that's basically going to sit. So it's going to sit in the front grille there. So let's get into the install. Okay, so the first step is taking out this plastic grille. And the way we do that, I'll just show you this clip. We'll turn him around. We've got an indentation on each side of the clip, so we're just going to get a screwdriver under there, and it's probably good to keep your finger here so that it doesn't go flying. So keep a hold of the outside and then just twist the screwdriver to pop that up in the air. Once we've done that, the whole clip will actually just pull out. So we can remove the whole clip. So two pieces to it. And we're just going to set these aside for now, and then in the end we'll reinsert them all. So we're just going to go through and do that to all of them. Okay, and now we just remove the clip, remove the grille, and put these clips aside for now. So now we're just going to remove this bolt on the driver's side of the bonnet catch. So it's just a 10mm bolt, 10mm spanner or socket. And then we're going to set our charger into position. So holding the harness out of the way for now. I'm going to set that down. And we're going to reinsert that bolt. And once I've done that, I'll give you a closer look. Just a quick look at the BCDC sitting in position. So we've got the first bolt in, just loose so that we've got adjustment, and that's our second location. So that bolt is in the pack. So we're just going to grab that bolt, insert it now, and that will lock our BCDC into position. Okay, now opening up our box of goodies is a little bag in there with a nut and a bolt. Sorry, with just a bolt. So we're going to open up that because the thread is already on the frame in the Toyota Prado. So we're going to take our bolt and washer out, and we're going to insert that into the hole that we just looked at down there until we find the threads caught, which it has now. So now with a spanner we're going to do up that bolt and lock the BCDC into position. Okay, so now that our charger's locked into position, we're just going to separate the two wiring looms. So the thinner loom, which just has a positive and negative on the end, that's always going to be our main battery. So we'll just lay that over that side into our main battery engine bay. The second loom, which is thicker, it will incorporate the Anderson as well to plug solar into. Now it's going to go to our auxiliary battery side. It's over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to route this cable following bracketry that we can tie to towards the start battery. So this is our one, just checking once again, it's labelled main battery. So I'm just going to go ahead and thread that. worth being aware that there is positions that I can cable tie the harness to, so we don't want it to rub on anything. So I can cable tie to this A-frame, I can cable tie to brackets over here, and then if we just swing around a bit, we're going to see these holes here. So there's a few holes, that gets us into the engine bay. So if we thread through one of these holes, as you can see now, the cables are up in the engine bay, ready to connect to the main battery. So it's that simple. And we follow the same procedure on the other side. So we've got a hole behind the headlight here, right next to our washer bottle. So if we thread through there, it keeps it away from the AC lines that we've also got here. So we'll thread our Anderson through first. Really matter, and then our auxiliary battery harness. There we go. Got plenty of length on the Anderson, because some people, if you had a bull bar on here, some people like to leave it out front on the bull bar so that you don't have to pop the bonnet. Otherwise you can mount it up on the back panel here. There's lots of positions that people, and everybody's a little bit different as to where they want to access their solar port if you're going to be using solar. Some people don't use it at all, so it just can be curled up in the engine bay. But this is our main harness connection to the auxiliary battery. So just a close-up of how we've ran those cables. So the main loom is coming out of the bottom of the Redarc there. That's our join separation. So we've got one harness heading across to the engine bay, gone in through a hole here. So this is all going to be cable tied using the cable ties in the pack. Into position, we can cable tie to bracketry here. We've got the subframe brackets to tie to. And then the same thing this way, we want to keep it away from the aircon line, so tying to brackets like this is fine. That keeps it away from the actual hosing itself. And then this time, because we've got aircon lines running through these holes, there's still plenty of room for our cables, but to keep away from them, we've just gone in behind the headlight there. And that's gotten us into the engine bay where our battery will be sitting. So let's go ahead and show you how to do the electrical connections now. I'm just going to show you the connections to the main battery, because auxiliary batteries can vary from battery to battery. Some have a post, some may need a battery terminal, but the main battery is always going to be the same. So we'll just show you on this one. So in this case, we can connect here to the battery terminal itself, but there's also a 10mm nut on the firewall here, which is straight off the battery. So I think we're going to choose to connect our earth here. So we'll start by undoing this 10mm nut. Making sure that we connect everything back on the way it was. We're going to go through ours. Actually, I'm going to go through the existing. So this is an accessory that someone has already put onto this vehicle. Quite likely we're going to find that in a vehicle that's got a bit of age on it. So that's our earth connection, and we're just going to go ahead and do that back up. Like so. And for our positive, so that was a 10mm bolt. For our positive, we're going to need a 12mm under that red cover. So I'm just putting that on the. So under here, we just pull this cover off. You can see once again, there's already been an accessory fitted, but that's okay. So we're just going to undo the top nut on the terminal. Like so. Look for our fuse holder. And we can go ahead and put that on. Now it's normal to see a little spark there. That will just be the Redarc kicking into gear. So just electronics in there will just be firing up. So it's a small spark. And then we can go ahead and turn that on. Once we've done that, we'll see the Redarc light up. So we've done up that terminal. We can put our insulating cover back on. And with the fuse holder, so we can often cable tie it to there is a good position. It does have mounting holes, so you could screw it into plastic if you wanted on the fuse box to get a little bit more out of the way, even over towards the subframe if you like. But the most popular way is just to cable tie it around there. That keeps the lid on, keeps the fuse insulated, and keeps it secure. So it's pretty important that we secure it. Then coming along the engine loom, we've got a wiring harness here. That could be our first cable tie on the engine loom, on the main battery loom, sorry. And then following, as we saw before, in that location. So now that all the electrical connections have been made, we're connected to our batteries. If we come over to the charger, we're going to see the A profile light just lightly flashing in the background there. See if I can get a better view. So that tells us that we've got power to the unit. So now what we're going to do is go and start up the vehicle. We should get the stage light and the vehicle light on. Now the vehicle light should come on solid. The stage light may either be solid or flashing depending on what mode of charge the charger's in. So we'll go ahead and start up the car and see what happens. Okay, the vehicle's running now. So you can see we've got the vehicle light and the stage light on solid. So that means it's in bulk charge mode at the moment. So that's a simple way to test your battery system. If we had a solar panel, plug that into the Anderson, we would likewise get the solar system on. So we want to see that this happens at the end of the install, that these lights come on. And then now if we go and shut the car down, a short period afterwards, we'll have all the lights turned on. So we've just turned the car off. All our lights are staying live because this does actually monitor the start battery. So we'll continue to charge the auxiliary battery until such point that the crank battery gets down to 12.6 volts. So it is normal to stay live for even a couple minutes after you stop the car if that auxiliary battery is fully charged. But eventually we want to see these lights to go off, and when that happens, it means that we're in isolation mode. So it's a 3-in-1 unit. It's a 25 amp DC to DC charger. It's a solar controller when you've got solar plugged in, and it's also a battery isolator, so isolating the two banks when the car is turned off so that nothing can flatten the start battery. It allows that to remain fully charged, ready to start to head home from a camping trip. So there you go, there's a full installation of the 120 Series Prado dual battery kit.